Abundance, 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 and gratitude to all. Now, some of you might be sitting there like, Kalab, what am I looking at? Okay, this is a training exercise that I have to do for my occupation, right? Here's the deal, though. This training exercise that I'm doing right here has to do with abuse, trauma, and abuse. And I want you to listen to, I mean, obviously, you can read this part right here how they have a higher risk of hepatitis, higher risk of sexual violence, depression. Like these are higher risk of suicide, to drug abuse, and but I want you to listen to the very next one too. This is very deep.
Let's try to understand the relationship between adverse childhood experiences and negative health outcomes by talking about the fight, flight, or freeze response. The fight, flight, or freeze response is an instinctual response to danger or threat. It is our brain's way of alerting us to a dangerous or threatening situation and preparing us to respond. In the face of danger, this is our brain's way of keeping us safe. Our brain releases chemicals, including cortisol, that enables us to take action. Small doses of cortisol may not be harmful. However, repeated release of cortisol due to experiencing trauma or traumatic memories is detrimental to the brain and body. Existing in a frequent state of fight, flight, or freeze causes too much cortisol to build up in the body and linger there, becoming toxic.
Pause. So let me rewind that just a little bit. Let me see that.
Let's try to understand the relationship between adverse childhood experiences and negative health outcomes by talking about the fight, flight, or freeze response. The fight, flight, or freeze response is an instinctual response to danger or threat. It is our brain's way of alerting us to a dangerous or threatening situation and preparing us to respond. In the face of danger, this is our brain's way of keeping us safe. Our brain releases chemicals, including cortisol, that enables us to take action. Small doses of cortisol may not be harmful. However, repeated release of cortisol due to experiencing trauma or traumatic.
Repeated releases of cortisol. What did I tell you that it does, huh? Weakens your immune system. Not only your immune system, your lymphatic system, which cleans your brain. Anxiety, depression, headaches. You see, nerve problems. It damages your neurons, your axon tracts, and your dendrites. This also digestive issues, high blood sugar right here, high blood pressure, allowing more white cells to enter inside of your body, heart disease. Now, you're wondering why so called black people are always under so much trauma and always being fed the worst kind of food. More importantly, artificial food, artificial sugars, things that clog up the body, clogs up the brain, and makes you have you in a docile state. Not only do it have you in a docile state, it has you in a state of weakness, whereas though that you are immune or not immune, where you are acceptable. I use the word I use the wrong word, immune, whereas though that you are acceptable to viruses and diseases. But and one of the reasons and one of the ways that they keep you in fear is keep you in fear of death. They keep you in fear of something happening to you, fear of you not doing what you're supposed to do and God is going to get you, fear of you going to lose your job and you're not going to pay your bills and you're going to be some poor person in the street. You don't even understand. The people with the most money are the poorest people on the planet. This is what you don't understand. You must understand and understand this, or you don't have to. The people with the most money are the poorest people on the planet. Please understand that. And if you don't understand that from a scientific point of view, biology, chemistry, neurology, physics, you are going to be behind. You're behind the eight ball. That's why you are striving to be something or achieve something that is not healthy or conducive to your soul. And at the same time, this is taking place with you. When you drink alcohol, alcohol also releases cortisol inside of the body. When you smoke cigarettes and drink coffee, what else is it? What does that do? It also releases cortisol inside of the body. They have us in a flight, or freeze just so that this chemical can constantly be released inside of the body, which again weakens your immune system as well as your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system is what cleans your brain. It detoxes your brain. And if your brain is clogged, this is what keep the frontal lobe and your prefrontal lobe from fully developing. More importantly, also the right hemisphere of your brain that deals with creativity is shut off. And this is a course that I have to take for my occupation and listen to what they are saying to me. Ain't that some deep shit? I told you before, my people, a lot of these people out here are playing around. These people out here that talk about how many books they read and um, how many people traveled the world or whatever the case may be. These people are absolutely delusional. And I mean that. To sit there and talk about they want the best for your race of people, and you mean to tell me you read over 5,000 books and you can't comprehend how this generational curse is being passed down through generation after generation with the outright psychological and physical abuse of the so-called black woman, so that way they can get to our children or get to us in an infant stage, whereas though we're the most vulnerable, and we don't even see that. In the same species that fed you the crocodiles that is still living off of your neuromelanin, your black energy, your black magic, the same ones that abuse you and living off of that, you want to be like, you want to live like these people. You think having condominiums and private flights and going on shopping sprees, you honestly think that that is what this is about. That's not what it's about. The billionaires, the real people that run this world off knowledge of self and knowledge of you. And because they have knowledge of self and knowledge of you, they put you in an ignorant state of mind. That's why they're able to live off of you. Money does not make the world go round. Neuromelanin, black magic do. Abundance, genetics. Let me add that on there too. Abundance and gratitude to all.